Welcome to the Jerry Graves channel. This is a channel that talks about narcissism and everything in between. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the topic. The problem with the narcissist and other people around is that they can turn people against you super easily, and it causes a big cluster, like a big quagmire, if you will, right? Eventually, you end up fighting with everybody. Um, the narcissist really is good at insulating themselves to where nobody actually challenges them, where they seem like the victim, and so nobody goes at them. But when they create a problem, somebody does get attacked, like so. Eventually, everybody starts fighting amongst themselves, and it's basically like, why didn't you compensate for the narcissist? Why didn't you do what the narcissist was supposed to do? You know, that's what the argument normally is about. The narcissist gets to the point where they can't really be blamed. It's like either they're too much of a victim, they act like they're so weak and fragile, and they're too old. Like, you can't blame me for what's going on. Like, really, I'm old. Are you really blaming me? Or they're that person who's got the best relationships with everybody there. They've made a solid relationship with everybody there, and they've kind of sabotaged the relationships of everybody. So they're the ones who knows everybody the best, and everybody knows them the best. And then when stuff goes down, nobody really wants to blame them because it's like, I'm blaming my friend. I'm blaming the main person I know here. Like, I'd rather find a scapegoat, and when you get scapegoated, it feels horrible. It makes you feel like it's so unfair that it's hard not to like buy into the fight, even if you know what's going on. You get scapegoated, and next, you're fighting and arguing, and the narcissist is just sitting back enjoying it. Okay, so what ends up happening is there's two ways for a narcissist to turn people against you and to make things hostile. One is that they're always talking and complaining about someone. Anytime you see somebody complaining a little bit too much, even if it's not about you or about a particular thing, but they're just the type of person who complains all the time, they're toxic. You don't even have to wait for them to do something to you. Just somebody who complains, because eventually they're so comfortable complaining that they'll eventually focus on somebody, which is end up being you at some point, and just constantly complaining, and for some reason everybody is easily manipulated. Like, if you complain about somebody enough, people are going to really think that they're a problem and then start fighting against them, and it changes the whole dynamic, even though it sounds like it's not a big deal, but it's a huge deal whenever somebody's complaining. You pay attention to that, right? And then the second thing is that they're always trying to wiggle out of their own work, and in the work center they do this, and it creates a void where everybody's trying to figure out in that moment who's supposed to compensate for the narcissist, right? But you can't really blame the narcissist because there's a reason why they're doing it. They're not doing it from a position where you guys are all equal. They've already made it where they're the fragile person that you can't really blame, or they already have a lot of power. So then people start to fight over who's supposed to compensate for the narcissist, and you don't want to get into that, because then next you know, everybody's acting passive aggressive, and then you're in a fight with somebody who has nothing to do with anything, and then it just goes all bad. So whenever they do that, for one, whenever you leave the room, whenever the narcissist is around, you need to just assume that they're complaining about you. So when you come back, you take it easy and kind of observe the people, the non-narcs that are around ahead of time, instead of just jumping straight in and interacting with them, because they might start being passive aggressive or do something that ticks you off, and then things happen too fast, and then next you know, your boss is hearing about it, and that's all bad, right? So it's better just to put space between you and any of the flying monkeys or the easily manipulated, right? And then the second thing is, um, fill the void that they're creating. Don't get into the arguments, and don't let it turn into that. If anything, if they're scapegoating you, just fill the void. Just fill the void that the narcissist creates, and just to slow things down so you can really figure them out, and maybe even start to leave hints of what's going on, and you can start manipulating the minds around you. um but if you just allow the fight to happen, it's like the same thing that I was talking in my other videos, where they're bringing the fight to you, and it's just like stuff happens too fast, and then they're all prepared for it, and then that's all bad. The narc is prepared for whenever you start trying to fight against filling that void. They've done this a million times, so they already know what to say and how to. So you never go into a battle that somebody brings to you, because don't take the bait. Even if you feel scapegoated, don't take the bait. Even if people were being passive aggressive and angry at you, don't fall for it. If you're gonna have a fight, again, like I said in an earlier video, you want it to be about something that you bring up. You don't want it to be about something that they set up for you. And once you do the thing, you fill the void. Um, then you start plotting your own agenda, as far as preparing the minds of the easily manipulated to be able to see through their tactics, and of the narcissist, that is. Lay your own traps. But the main idea is to go in expecting this to happen. Every single day you should expect this to happen. And then train your mind not to get into battles with all the side people. You know that it's the narc's fault. So you focus on the narcissist. With that being said, that's all I got for this video. Thank you for watching. Peace.